why has nature designed us in a way that makes us suffer so much? So as a thought experiment, I want you to think of yourself as a designer, a creator. How would you design a human brain if you want them to reach their primary goal of surviving and reproducing? Now, Robert Wright in his book, Why Buddhism is True, talks about 3 principles of design. And I think these principles make sense also. So what are these principles? First principle: whenever human beings should reach their goal of surviving and reproducing, they should get some pleasure. If they have food, if they have sex, they should get some pleasure, because pleasure is what reinforces the behavior. It will make them repeat the behavior that led them to reach their primary goal of surviving and reproducing. In the second principle, he says that the pleasure should not last forever. Now imagine if human beings will eat food and they will be blissed out forever and they won't feel the need to eat again. What will happen? They will die very soon. So the pleasure that they get after eating the food should be followed by an unpleasant sensation of hunger. Similarly, if they will have sex and they won't feel the need to indulge in sex again, then they will not reproduce. And that's not what is on nature's agenda, right? So pleasure should not last forever. The third principle is that human beings should focus more on the fulfillment of pleasure rather than its subsequent evaporation. Now imagine if you will think about reaching a goal, if you will think about how pleasurable it's gonna feel, you will be motivated to pursue the goal. And if you will start thinking that what's the point of eating, you only feel good for a while, what's the point of indulging in sex, eventually the pleasure fades away, then you will not eat, then you will not reproduce, and it's not on nature's agenda. That's why these are the 3 principles that make absolute sense when it comes to surviving and reproducing. This is how our brain functions. And this is the reason why we focus more on pleasure rather than its subsequent evaporation. Now, this is one possible explanation of our design from an evolutionary standpoint. And I think it's quite convincing also. From nature's point of view, happiness and unhappiness are just tools. If making us happy in one moment will motivate us to do the work that's on nature's agenda, then fine. If making us unhappy, if making us suffer will make us do the work that's on nature's agenda, then also fine. So nature does not care whether we are happy or unhappy. It just wants us to survive and reproduce. And it uses the mechanism of pain and pleasure to fulfill its agenda.